Before our kickoff right now, I'm welcoming the mayor coming over on our left here. I want to introduce the president and CEO of the Greater Boston Convention and Visitors Bureau, Martha Sheridan, to be our host today. Martha?
Good afternoon, everyone. It's such a pleasure to be here and part of this incredible event on this incredible weekend here in Boston. So I want to start by thanking the 250th Army Band Liberty and Revolution for their performance today. And now it's my distinct pleasure to introduce the Joint Coast Guard Boston-based USS Constitution Color Guard to present the colors.
Can you hold that down just a little bit?
And now I'd like to introduce the 250th Army Band from the Massachusetts National Guard to perform our national anthem, performed specifically by Specialist Emily Dawson, U.S. Army Massachusetts National Guard. Oh, can you see by the dawn's early lights what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And next I'd like to welcome Pam Messenger, the board chair and director of the Downtown Boston Improvement District. Pam? Hello everybody, welcome to downtown. We are thrilled to have all of you here. A lot of you look as if you're here for the day, spending it outside, and we're thrilled to have brought you the most gorgeous weather that we could possibly imagine. Downtown is back. We have lots of fun things to do here. We're thrilled that you're here. We know you all want some cake, but after we finish with this great program, there's going to be other things to do all afternoon here, and I just wanted to make sure you knew how to find out about them. There is a QR code to tell you what's going on every Harborfest sign all around the city. There's signs on the posts behind me where you can get the schedule. There's also some printed ones as well. We have an arts and crafts market on Summer Street, one block that way, and until 5:30 today. We have a fashion show put on by Macy's at 2 o'clock, also in that same location. There's lots to do around here, just great restaurants, great stores. Thank you very much for coming, and we hope you all have a wonderful holiday weekend. I am distinctly honored to introduce Boston's mayor, Michelle Wu.
Festivities and the celebration as we head towards one of the most exciting parts of Boston's legacy, our role in shaping this country's history and the commemorations that come every Independence Day. I'm honored to be here on this stage with colleagues across all different sectors and levels of government. I see City Council President Ed Flynn is here, President, State Senator Lydia Edwards is here. Thank you. Captain Christopher Webb of the Coast Guard, Commander B.J. Farrell, USS Constitution. Thank you to our Color Guard, 215th Army Band, Fife and Drum, Consul General Abbott, Grace Lee, Pam, Madam Chair, Dusty Rhodes, Martha, and we have others joining us from the Freedom Trail Foundation as well, so thank you, Director Taylor, as well as the official bakers, Montilio's Baking Company, of this incredible masterpiece here. A lot of work goes into the fun and celebrations and the commemorations that happen over Harborfest. So most of all, we are so grateful to all of the organizers, volunteers, the staff for putting in so much effort, and for the performers who will be sharing their talents with us. Thank you so much. I want to recognize also all those who are serving, all those who are veterans, and those who continue to serve our country. We're grateful for your service and ensure that Boston will continue to honor that legacy that you've created for us. This is the beginning of what is always one of the largest Independence Day celebrations in the country. We're proud to welcome visitors from all over the city, the state, and the world to come and celebrate and remember why we exist as a country and how much is still ahead of us. It is the 41st year of celebrating Harborfest, marking Boston's rich maritime heritage and our place in history as the cradle of the American Revolution. It's also an opportunity for us to build our community, to create the spaces and events and gatherings for friends and family with musical performances, historical reenactments, orations, parades, and arts showcases, all of which celebrate our 246th year as a nation. So we're looking forward, preparing for the next 4 years too. We know a big one is coming up soon. Boston is a city that has always fought for our freedom and our shared collective future. We are enjoying the freedoms today that Boston residents fought for centuries ago. And we recognize that we still have much work ahead to secure our freedoms and ensure that all of us can live free, fulfilling, healthy, and vibrant lives. This weekend I'm excited to celebrate our history, to reflect on our legacy and all that we've done, as an inspiration for all that we will do to build a better future for all. Happy Harborfest, and thank you for coming.
Thank you, Mayor. I want to thank you for your continued support of the tourism industry in Boston. We really appreciate all that you do for us. And I want to thank again, as Pam did, all of you for being here today. And I do see how many of you from out of town? Wow, fantastic. So happy to have you here. Welcome to Boston. As the mayor noted, we have a lot happening this weekend. Of course, all of the activities associated with Harborfest. We also have our traditional celebration on the Esplanade with the Boston Pops on July 4th. Hopefully you can stay around for that. We have activities all over the city, including the Roxbury International Film Festival taking place in one of Boston's most iconic neighborhoods. And of course, all of our attractions and restaurants. We're so happy to have you here, and we're excited to welcome all of you to Boston. So it's been a rough few years, as you know, for the travel and tourism industry, but recovery is here, and you all are part of it. We want to thank you again for being in Boston and deciding that this is the place that you want to spend your 4th of July weekend. So thank you. And I'd also like to extend my thanks to all of the sponsors of Harborfest. This event cannot take place without community and corporate partnerships. But I also want to thank Ventures and Dusty and her team for their continued support and leadership of this event. And now, one of the most preeminent sponsors of this event will be sponsoring the fireworks associated with 2 sets of fireworks in Boston this weekend, so you gotta stick around. They'll be sponsoring the fireworks over the harbor here for Harborfest. I'd like to introduce Grace Lee. She's the Eastern Mass Regional President of M&T Bank, a great partner of the Convention and Visitors Bureau and the tourism industry. Grace?
Thank you, and good afternoon. So it is my pleasure as regional president for M&T Bank to thank you for letting us share. Thank you for your role, the City of Boston. We are so absolutely grateful to be part of this great tradition that the City of Boston and Harborfest puts on. This is particularly exciting for me because this is is my first year as regional president, and I get to do this and kick it off with Mayor Wu. So that is a check in my life bucket event. So I have to say, not only is this one of the most celebrated events, this is particularly important because this is the first Harborfest coming out of the pandemic, and I have to say that seeing all you beautiful people out there just really, really inspires, I hope myself and everybody else, that we are really on the road to recovery, and there's no better symbol of our nation moving forward than the beautiful city of Boston. So thank you and enjoy.
Thank you, Grace. One of our most prolific partners and also feeder markets for the city of Boston when it comes to international visitation are from our friends from the UK. So this is why it gives me distinct pleasure now to introduce the British Consulate General, Mr. Peter Abbott.
It's a little known fact that everywhere I go in Boston, I'm accompanied by some redcoats. So thank you very much indeed to my security detail today. I am Peter Abbott. I'm the British Consul General to New England. I want to say first a big thank you to Martha Sheridan, Council President Ed Flynn, Captain Webb, Commander Farrell, and of course Mayor Wu and the rest of the distinguished guests here today. As Martha said, I'm Peter Abbott. I'm the Consul General to New England. It means I'm Her Majesty's representative in Boston and New England. And you might be forgiven for thinking it's a little bit odd that I'm here today as an event to celebrate Boston's revolutionary history. But actually it fits something of a pattern. As Consul General, I'm often invited to Evacuation Day, to commemorate the battles of Concord and Lexington. Just recently I was at Bunker Hill as well to celebrate that battle. So it's nice today to be at something that feels a little bit lighter and a little bit more enjoyable. This year, in 2022, we've been celebrating Her Majesty the Queen's Platinum Jubilee, marking 70 extraordinary years of public service on the throne of the United Kingdom. When the Queen visited Boston in 1976 to celebrate America's bicentennial, she spoke these words from the steps of the old State House just up the road. She said, "If Paul Revere, Sam Adams, and other patriots could have known that one day a British monarch would stand beneath the balcony of the old State House and be greeted in such kind and generous words, well, I think they would have been surprised." But, she went on, perhaps they would also have been pleased to know that eventually we came together again as free peoples and friends, and defended together the very ideas for which the American Revolution was fought. In that spirit of friendship, I wish the city of Boston and the whole of the United States a very happy birthday. God save the Queen and God bless America.
Thank you so much. And I just want to let you know, Peter, that check your mail soon. You'll be receiving an invitation to the 250th celebration of the Boston Tea Party that we don't really do that. Coming next December, just so you know. As I mentioned, the mayor is a great partner of tourism. We have many great partners in government that help us each and every day, and none more, I think, committed and dedicated to this city and the tourism industry and the visitors that come here and the workers that make our industry so special and so important. So it gives me great pleasure to introduce Boston City Council President Ed Flynn.
Thank you, Martha. I'm honored to be here and to represent my colleagues in city government, but also on the city council, but also to thank Mayor Wu. As mayor, she's done a tremendous job. Also recognizing the important role veterans and military families play in our city. So we want to say thank you to Mayor Wu for always being there for our veterans, military families, and our colleague in the state level is Lydia Edwards, who's also been a real strong supporter of veterans as well. So I'm honored to be here, and I want to thank the organizers, the Boston Harborfest, and our city partners. As I mentioned, various city departments are here. Downtown Bid, the Greater Boston Convention and Visitor Bureau is sponsoring these events. I want to thank the tourists that came to Boston to enjoy our city. Obviously, welcome to Boston. It's an honor to have you here. I know one of the speakers, I think it was Martha, that mentioned some neighborhoods, including Roxbury, which isn't too far from here. It's a wonderful African-American community. But also just down the road, I wanted to highlight Chinatown is here as well, with some wonderful restaurants if you're interested in visiting there. I had an opportunity to serve 25 years in the United States Navy, and this was always a special weekend for the U.S. Navy, but also for the U.S. military. So I want to say thank you to the military leaders and service members that are here. And again, welcome to Boston. We're so fortunate to have so many visitors here on this special weekend. Thank you.
Thank you, Council President Flynn. And as a surprise addition to the agenda today, it delights me to introduce our next speaker. As I've said, we have many partners in government in the city of Boston, but now we have a new partner on the state level, State Senator Lydia Edwards, who has been a huge partner of tourism in this community, as well as specifically the Greater Boston Convention and Visitors Bureau. She helped us get through the pandemic in so many ways and has helped us chart a whole new course for Boston tourism as we move forward. So I'd like to introduce Senator Lydia Edwards.
I'll be brief. I know I'm between you and cake, but I do want to say, first of all, welcome to Boston and welcome to my district specifically. I'm especially happy that you are here to see and celebrate Boston Shine Its Brightest, which we tend to do in this particular weekend. Many of you were also here when we were shining our brightest in all the rainbow colors for Pride, and of course we also celebrated Juneteenth here. We do a lot of things big here. We celebrate who we are and how we got here, and it's important to do that in this moment in time in politics. We could be thinking about all that's not right, but man, you guys got to meet and be introduced and talk to the first woman mayor of Boston, Michelle Rose. I myself am the first woman and the first person of color to represent my Senate district, and I say that not to brag, but to say, you're going to walk around the city and see so many firsts and so many historic rates and so many ways in which we have helped America shine its brightest for equality, for liberty. And I hope you go to as many neighborhoods as possible, because I hope what you see is not what we do exceptionally, but how our country is just exceptional and accepting, and it's worth celebrating. So that's what this weekend is about. That's what this moment is about. And please go everywhere. Roxbury, Chinatown. Come over to my across the harbor in East Boston. I have to put a shout out for that beautiful area. Second only to Ellis Island for the amount of immigrants that came to this country. So we have history, and it's worth celebrating. So please get to know a little
Harborfest wouldn't be true to its name if we didn't talk to you about our beautiful harbor and how you can safely enjoy our harbor. So I'm very pleased to introduce Captain Christopher Webb, First Coast Guard District, and Commander Billy June Farrell, USS Constitution 77, commanding officer, I believe, first female officer. So we have a lot of firsts here again, so welcome.
Good afternoon, Mayor, distinguished guests in Boston. On behalf of Coast Guard First District Commander Admiral John Lauger, we are delighted to be here today and kick off the Boston Harborfest activities. To tie in a bit of the rich Coast Guard and Boston joint history celebrating today, I just have a couple comments before I get into some things about recreational boating safety. First commissioned cutter in the Revenue Cutter Service was in Massachusetts, built in Newburyport, homeported in Boston, and commanded by Boston-born John Foster Williams, which is also the keepsake of the name of the federal building down the Atlantic Avenue, about 6 blocks from here. Boston Light celebrated its 300th anniversary in 2016 and was the first lighthouse constructed in what is now the United States. The only lighthouse that is still actively staffed by the United States Coast Guard. In terms of our future, we have the arrival of 6 fast response cutters that will be homeported in Boston, first arriving this November. This will bring over 150 Coast Guard men and women and their families to the Boston area who will be able to call Boston home. The cutters will be operating throughout New England, ensuring the safety of mariners at sea. Lastly, I'll take this opportunity to emphasize the safety on the water in terms of recreational boating safety. This is a great opportunity to plug that, and we'll be out patrolling over the weekend in the harbor and the waters with many of our agency partners, stakeholders, with the expectation of increased traffic, increased presence to respond effectively for calls of distress and to enforce recreational boating laws, including impaired boating. So some key notes: always wear your life jacket. It only works when you wear it. Never boat under the influence. The legal standard of .08 applies in the water as well. And take a boating safety course. Most importantly, have fun. We want you to have fun, just do so safely. Again, it is an honor to be here and participate in this. Thank you for everything, and thank you for your attendance today.
The moment you've all been waiting for. We are in Lefferts.
Good afternoon. As has been said here today so many times, it's an honor to be with you all and to represent the Navy and USS Constitution. So I am the 77th captain of the ship. She turns 225 this year. Undefeated in battle with a record of 33-0. So often I speak to people about what she represents and why we're still an active commission ship with the Navy today. And she represents the fighting spirit and perseverance of our country. And today we are crewed by 80 active duty sailors. We are looking for tours. So please come visit the ship if you're not. 4th of July, we're actually taking the ship out into the harbor. The best place is to do that on Castle Island or through the Navy Yard, and we will actually do a 21-gun salute with 2 of our cannons there at Castle Island. So if you're interested, please come visit, and it's an honor to be here, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Commander. Certainly the USS Constitution is not to be missed. It's a sight to be seen. And now we are going to cut the cake, and I'd like to thank again the Downtown Boston Business Improvement District, who is the sponsor of this beautiful cake provided by Montevideo State.